Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have to be elated right now. 3-1 without Ben Roethlisberger. He comes back this week.
Right. No, I couldn't agree with you more. He comes back this week. I'm kind of the Saints may be catching him right when he's starting to get back in form. But that scares me when Charlie Batch and who else they had? They had Charlie Batch and Olsen, right?
No, Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich, right?
Yeah. And Dennis Dixon.
Dennis Dixon is what I'm
That's
thinking of. And they won games with those guys.
That's off the scrap heap, huh?
And I got Jordan Jefferson. Can I get a guy in the college? Anyway, I don't want to go back to that. But no, they look very, very good. They got to be elated to be 3-1 at this point in the season with Roethlisberger coming back.
Yeah.
NFC North, Detroit still hadn't won a game, but they're playing a lot better. But as Jim Schwartz said, who cares? We're losing ball games.
That's right.
And you got Minnesota had a week off. They come back this week to play against the
against the Jets on Monday night, right? But
Yeah.
the Lions in 0-4 is 0-4,
Yeah.
but they've been close. They gave the Packers their money's worth.
They sure did
in that game.
So they're coming, and these are teams that we call bad teams in the NFL, and all of them, a lot of them cover the spread as far as that goes, and all of them look like they're improving, that they're making the right moves, that not that they'll make the playoffs, but they all look like, other than the Buffalo Bills maybe, it seems like they're all going in the right direction, which, there you go with parity again,
In the NFC East, you have the Dallas Cowboys, who are hoping to get 2 in a row this week,
Right.
and you had Washington beat Philadelphia. Michael Vick hurt. He's out for a couple of weeks.
And that game was an ugly game. I mean, Donovan McNabb
yeah.
had 19 attempts, completed 10 passes, won the game. Vic got hurt early.
Yeah.
Those two, that division to
It's
me
bad.
doesn't look that
It's
good.
bad.
And in the NFC, and getting back to the Saints, I think we're in good shape. Green Bay doesn't look like to be world beaters. Minnesota's got to play the Jets and turn it around. So in that division, a 9-17, the Redskins, the Eagles, the Giants, nobody's out of it. The Cowboys, nobody's out of that division.
In the West, you have Arizona, Seattle, and the Rams all at 2-2, and San Francisco, the favorite coming into the year at 0-4.
I mean, that could be an 8-8 division winner, don't you think?
Oh,
it
or
could-
7-9.
Now the
could be
Saints,
real
the
ugly.
Saints got to go out west and feast on teams like that.
Yeah.
They play Arizona this week, even though that's a team in disarray. Going to sign they're going to start an unsigned free agent, Max Hall, from BYU as quarterback. The Saints got to go out there and win that game, and they really need to score some points.
And of course, in the South, the Saints and the Falcons both tied at 3-1. Falcons struggled with the 49ers. They won by the same score, 16-14. The Falcons, like the Saints, are finding ways to win games.
Yeah, and that's the first score they put up in the Dome was 14-0 Frisco, and that was it. They don't score another point, which is,
Right.
I don't know how that happens. Another field goal is all they need, wins the game.
But the 49ers picked the ball off with a minute and something left to go. Roddy White runs up and strips the ball. They get the ball. I mean, that's stealing a win.
Yeah.
That game's over. He goes to the ground. They run the clock out. The game's over.
Absolutely.
So the Falcons they're not super birds anyway. We're a field goal away from 4-0.
Yep.
Right.
So no one needs to worry about the Saints. Don't worry about it. We're in good shape. I think the Saints are going to be here at the end of I think they'll win the division. I really do.
I think so, too. We're going to go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll have this week's pick segment.
Our favorite segment.
Yeah. Those guys will
Yeah.
win games. Don't listen to me. We'll
We're
be
going to
back.
let you pick one more.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. We'll be back with more Black and Gold Report right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Black and Gold Report. Time for this week's pick segment. Someone's going to get a chance to win a Chris Reese autographed Saints picture. Now, this is the picture of Reese recovering the onside kick in the Super Bowl, autographed.
One of the biggest plays in Saints history.
Exactly.
that right.
You're going to get a chance to win that by going online at bgreport.com and pick the winners of the Week 5 games in the NFL. Let's start things off with the lines. Kansas City, the only undefeated team, as we said, at Indianapolis. The Colts are an 8-point favorite.
8's a tough number.
Boy,
Eight's a
I
tough
hate it.
number.
I hate
And like I said, we don't have to bet all these games, but if I had to bet the game, I might take the Chiefs plus that 8, the way Indianapolis defense has been playing.
The Colts have not been able to stop anybody, but the Chiefs, they've had a couple of plays offensively. They've been winning with defense and special teams.
Yeah, now it could be low score, and I would not touch this game, but I think the Chiefs will lose their first one. They fall from the ranks of undefeated.
Right, but they may
this
not
week.
lose by 8.
No.
The Ravens are at home against Denver. The Ravens are a 7.5-point favorite over the Broncos.
I got no feel for either one of those teams.
Yeah.
The Ravens
It's
just beat the Steelers. The Broncos play. Who's going to win that game? That's a tough game. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
I take the Ravens at home.
Yeah,
for no other reason than
Than
they
they're
have
at home.
to.
Yeah. Denver beat the Tennessee Titans. Chuck Cecil flip off the official game.
Right, that's right.
correct.
That's
That
right.
is
That was the
right.
game last week. Chicago losing their first game. Richard called that one right last week.
I saw through the Bears.
A trap game. Chicago is at Carolina, and the Bears are a 1.5-point favorite on the road.
If Carolina had any kind of offense at all, I would go with them to win the game.
Yeah.
But they just have nothing. I mean, the Saints shut them down. The Bears got a pretty good defense. I got to believe the Bears are going to cover that. But don't get carried away with the Bears.
Man, this quarterback for the Bears too. I mean, God, he is.
Cutler
he
would
is
drive you
cut-
crazy.
He would. I know March he can't say anything, but that he looked horrible.
He did.
He did. I think they sacked him 7-8 times just in the first half.
Before they knocked, they
Nine
knocked
in
out
the
the game with
first
a
half,
concussion.
matter of
Yeah,
fact, nine.
man.
He does look bad. He won't get rid of the ball.
He will not.
Atlanta tied with the Saints at 3-1. They're at Cleveland. The Browns are playing decent football.
The Browns won a football game. They
Yeah.
upset the Bengals, and but I think Atlanta's got to win that game. What's the number on that game?
The game on that one, the line on that one rather, Atlanta 2.5
Yeah,
point
I would
favorite
go
on
with the
road.
Falcons in that
Yeah,
game. I think,
less
yeah.
than a field goal. I think it'll be close, but I think you're kind of getting the short end here, not getting more than 3 against Cleveland. I like Atlanta.
I think that's a good point.
Jacksonville is at Buffalo. It is a 1-point favorite, Jacksonville.
Jackson, that's the exactly kind of game that they're going to load up. Buffalo hadn't won a game, and Buffalo it's going to win. It's going to win the game.
Yeah.
They've been moving the
You
ball.
got-
I would take Buffalo in that
And
game.
Buffalo also, Buffalo trading Marshawn Lynch to Seattle to give the
Okay.
Seahawks a little running game. So Lynch changes places. And sources are now running around, too, let you know this, that the Green Bay Packers are trying to get D'Angelo Williams from Carolina.
Okay, so a few
keep
fire
an eye
sales.
on that. Tampa Bay is at Cincinnati. The Bengals are a 7-point favorite.
I don't understand the Bengals. I mean, they were hyped coming into the season.
That's another division
They
going to
got
give Pittsburgh
they
all
got T.O. and
That's
Ocho
right.
Cinco, and they're
That's
not
it.
scoring. Carson Palmer's not playing well.
They lose with T.O. having 10 catches for 222 yards.
And
Yeah.
a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
78-yard touchdown. So that's hard to figure. Tampa Bay, I think, is a better team than most people might realize.
Right.
I may take Tampa Bay plus the points.
St. Louis surprising some people at 2-2. Sam Bradford looking like the real deal at quarterback. They're at winless Detroit, and the Lions are a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Kurt's all over that guy. I have no idea.
Detroit. I would take Detroit. Later 2. It's 2.5 and 3 in some spots. Same thing. Only because they at home. They had Green Bay on the ropes. So I think this may be a game where they can jump out and win.
Yeah, I
at
think they
home.
can win the game too.
San Diego is at Oakland. It's a 7-point favorite game
Chargers.
for the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oakland's got nothing.
I like the Chargers.
And Monday night is Minnesota at the Jets. The Jets are a 4-point favorite.
Now that's a strange game.
Boy,
That's
that
a strange
is.
game. Minnesota's got to win that game. I mean, in my opinion, they're 1-2 right now. If I'm not, 1-2. I may, and the Jets are flying high. It's another one of them games where you say, "Oh, that's a slap." I would take the Vikings in an upset. I would. If I had to bet the game, I'm not going to bet the game, but I would take the Vikings.
All right, I'll give the inconsequential pick of the week, which is mine.
Okay,
since
what is
I'm
your-
doing
yeah.
terrible. So far, I am a minus 4 units.
Okay.
In 4 weeks. So that tells you what I'm doing. I like the Houston Texans at home giving up 3 points to the New York Giants.
Okay. I'm not in love with that. I'm not in love with that.
Well,
I
you
mean, it's
never
your
are with
pick.
my pick,
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
your
pretty
pick.
much it. Now,
It's your pick.
Kurt likes a couple of games this week.
Yeah, actually, I love, and it just goes to show you when you handicap and you have to forget about your heart. As much as I hate to say it, I love the Cowboys this week laying 6.5
Against Tennessee at
home. And that is definitely a 2 6-pack game. And the other game I'm going to have just a 6-pack on, or maybe just a cold tall.
Bud Light Lime.
A Bud Light Lime is
six-pack.
the
That's Green Bay.
yeah, Green Bay laying the 2.5 against Washington. I like the Packers to kind of bounce back, only because of the team they playing against more than anything. I think there's trouble in Washington. I really think.
And mine's a
there's trouble.
12-pack only for the fact that I have to make up some ground.
Yeah, I don't think
But I
Washington.
like the Cowboys.
But let's
I really
not
like
forget
the
that
Cowboys.
Kurt's pick last week covered the spread by more points than any
Big
other
Apple
game on the
special.
schedule.
Demolished
The Big Apple special.
Demolishing.
And I was in New York too on the Giants when the Bears came to town with their little smoke and mirror quarterback.
That's right.
Well, before
So
we
Kurt
get
and I
to your
went-
pick, since you're the king this year
Okay.
so far, okay, the Baby Ray Blue Plate Special, the 2-team teaser. This one looks good. The Ravens minus 1.5 against Denver, and the Colts minus 2 at home against the Chiefs.
Yeah, those have looked good all year.
Yeah.
That's how tough it is in the NFL.
That's exactly right.
But you're right. Kurt and I both went to the to New York. I picked the Giants. He picked the Jets. Both of them were covered. This week I'm going with an 0-4 team. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers, who I think will finally win a game and cover at home. because they have to. They have to win this game.
They're giving up 3 points to the Kevin Cobb Eagles.
That's exactly. And Kevin Cobb has shown me nothing. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know why they decided he was going to be the starter, but he showed me nothing. I think the 49ers have a good defense. I think they can win that game.
And, of course, the
And
last game.
I'm going to bet a 12-pack on that.
Okay. The last game we'll talk about the Saints at Arizona. You lived in Arizona for a number of years. Cardinals frustrated the heck out of you, but you were always still a Saints fan out there.
Absolutely.
And everybody
Absolutely.
knew it. This is a team, Arizona, as you said, Max Holland, undrafted free agent, is starting a quarterback with them. Warner retires. Leinert's gone. They trade him. Derek Anderson isn't doing it. You're at your fourth option now.
Yeah, but you can't. Here's a team like the Cardinals in the Super Bowl, right? Kurt Warner, gone. Anquan Bolden, one of the best receivers in the league, gone. Best linebacker, Dansby, in the league, gone. You can't get rid of those guys and expect to have a competitive team. And Matt Leinart never worked out from day one.
Exactly.
Weisenhunt never liked him, never wanted him. Now they got rid of him. They have no quarterback. They're going with an undrafted free agent, Max Hall from BYU. Now, this is a game I would put some pressure on the Saints. If we can't put up 30 on them and win comfortably, I would be surprised.
I agree. This is a chance for the Saints to get well. Defensively, I don't care who dresses out. I just can't see them scoring more than a 14 max. I just can't see them putting 20 or 21 on any of the Saints packages that they put in, whoever's playing defense. And I think here's a chance for Breeze and all maybe to actually punch it. They'll be in the red zone a lot.
That's exactly
I got to
right.
believe they'll have chances just like last week, and I think they'll turn them into touchdowns. I really do.
And they talk about it all the time, but the turnovers are crucial. When the Saints turned the ball over at crucial times, it killed them against Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
I think Sean Payton's a big ball security guy.
Yeah.
And I love Sean Payton. You never see him get too high or too low. Very even keel. But even the players are saying the right things. Hey, we got to get better. We got to improve.
Yeah.
And I think they will. I like the Saints. I would pick that game.
All right, but you try to stay away from them.
Well, because the 49ers is a better pick.
Exactly.
I'm trying to win this thing, unlike some people.
Some people. All right, we are out of here. We appreciate you joining us. For Richard Watkins, Kurt Fake, all the gang here at LCN. Go to bgreport.com to pick some games and a chance to win some autographed Saints pictures. We'll be back next week with the Black and Gold Report. Good night, everybody.
Promotional consideration for the Black and Gold Report, Chuck's Field of Dreams, for all of your Saints collectibles. In Albany, just off the Interstate 12 on Highway 43. And at 109 Thomas Street in Hammond. Chuck's Field of Dreams. And by Outside and In, accessories for the patio and home. 500 Corporate Drive, Suite R in Houma.